I'm trying.
Okay. You're good. Hi, everyone. All right. Tonight we are partaking in a webinar on the Tower Gardens. And now that I'm recording, there we go. Okay, great. So my name is Danielle Calavito. I'm coming to you from New York. And I'm joined on the line with Gina Osborne, who's joining us from California. And we are both equally passionate about the Tower Gardens and have come about them in very different ways and utilize them in very different ways. But we're both really excited to be here sharing tonight with you about the Tower Gardens. So first of all, what is the Tower Garden? We're just going to take a quick little video to see how the Tower Garden works and what it is. But it is a vertical aeroponic growing system. It's green, it's sustainable, it's innovative, and it's really cool. So let's take a quick look at this video to see how they work.
Tower Garden's state-of-the-art aeroponic vertical garden system uses both water and air to produce more colorful, better-tasting, and incredibly nutritious fruits, vegetables, and herbs. Tower Garden has a 20-gallon reservoir at its base that stores the Tower Tonic nutrient
You're not
solution.
seeing it.
No,
Pause
I
for a
don't see it.
second. How's this?
Yes.
Yes.
Let's go back to the beginning. Bear with me.
Oh, there we go.
Tower Garden's state-of-the-art aeroponic vertical garden system uses both water and air to produce more colorful, better-tasting, and incredibly nutritious fruits, vegetables, and herbs. Tower Garden has a 20-gallon reservoir at its base that stores the Tower Tonic nutrient solution. Developed by experts in plant and human nutrition, Tower Tonic Mineral Blend enables superior plant growth and better nutrition from your Tower Garden produce. The process begins once the seedlings have been placed in your Tower Garden. Here they will be nourished with Tower Tonic nutrient solution. Inside the reservoir is a small, low-wattage submersible pump. The pump pushes the nutrient solution up through the tower to the top. From there, the nutrient solution drips through the central tower using a special device that evenly cascades the solution over the exposed plant roots. On the journey down the tower, the nutrient solution feeds the roots and becomes highly oxygenated as it cascades gently down the reservoir. This process is continuous, providing fresh oxygen, water, and nutrients to the roots of the plants. This patented aeroponic process enables food crops to grow faster than they would in soil, so they can be harvested more often. And it makes Tower Garden the healthier, easier, smarter way to grow your produce.
All right. I love that little video. Okay.
Me too. I wish
Isn't
I could
it
follow.
It is so cool. And I'm going to bring my screen up. Hold on. I'm going to share screen again so we can get back to this. Let's see. Here we go. Now, I love the little drawings. I love everything about that. Here we go. Can you all see this now?
Yep.
All right, cool. Thank you. We can see how fast everything grows in the Tower Garden too. And I'm just going to briefly share my story a little bit with the Tower Gardens and how they were introduced to me and our family's experience. And here's some fun photos for you. But we were introduced to the Tower Garden probably about 3 years ago now. And I remember seeing it on a little postcard flyer, and I thought, that's pretty cool. And we'd always liked to garden because we liked to eat really fresh foods. But where we live in New York, and in particular the current home we live in, we really didn't have the space outdoors to do a garden in ground. And we always talked about it, but it's just one of those things that never happened. So we grow in pots, and we thought that was pretty good. But when this Tower Garden came, introduced to us, I thought this is pretty cool. And I've always been pretty eco-friendly. So I loved that it was, environmentally friendly and sustainable. And we got some background noise. Okay, there we go, went away. So we immediately, when the spring rolled around, we had to get one. I actually think it was the month of April that we got our first tower garden. The whole family put it together. It was a lot of fun. The kids were involved, from putting it together to starting our seeds to growing in the tower garden to harvesting the food, which was really exciting. And as a parent of a picky eater, when your picky eater picks raw basil off a tower garden and eats it and then likes it, you're like, whoa, this is pretty cool. And that's actually the picture of my son in the cowboy hat eating basil for the first time and enjoying it, which was nice. We liked it so much and we had so much fun with it that we realized we could bring it inside and continue to grow in our colder weather here in New York in the fall and the winter. And so we actually put our tower garden in our dining room and added the grow lights onto it and continued to grow. And we had so much fun with that then the next spring rolled around and we got a second tower because we had to have another one. So now we have 2 towers, and it has made a big difference in our family. One, it saved us on our grocery bills because of how much produce we're able to grow. It's improved our eating habits because we've got literally right at our fingertips, fresh, delicious, lettuce and herbs and greens and kale and spinach and tomatoes and things like that. And from, that parental standpoint, I'm teaching my kids where food comes from and how to grow it. And they're involved in the entire process from growing the seeds to preparing the meal with me. And that's a beautiful experience that you can share with your kids, as a parent. So we are hands down love our tower gardens. We might even add another one to the family. I don't know. But I was blown away that first year in particular when we grew in our tower, and we also as a test grew in pots as well still, just like we normally had done. And in particular, the tomatoes growing in the pots versus the tower, there was literally no comparison. The tomatoes from the tower, the greens, the vines, the leaves were more green. The tomatoes, once they ripened, were more red. They weren't cracking and peeling like the ones in the pots that we had done. And the flavor was amazing, absolutely amazing. The most delicious tomatoes I've ever had. And so we are, like I said, forever hands down tower garden lovers. And I love sharing it with people, and I love having people over to come and see the tower and eat off the tower and just, be a part of it. The beautiful picture in the middle, I'm going to have Gina share about. So Gina, want to share that picture for us and a little bit about your story?
Oh, awesome. Yes, I will. First of all, though, I just want to say that your little farm, he is fabulous. I love watching all the things that he's done with the tower garden. Look at how tiny he is in those pictures. And he's grown so much now, and he's doing so many fun things with the tower garden. It's really such a joy to watch.
Thank you.
Process. Our journey, we started with a tower garden in a condo. We were introduced to the tower garden through Melissa, and I killed everything in the soil. So I was sure that I would get that one tower garden and just kill it. And so, Melissa reassured me, and I ended up finally buying one. And we bought one, and then we bought 2 and 3 and 6. And so now that inspired us to move our family to 5 acres, and we're homesteading with the tower gardens. We have 20 tower gardens. We're a commercial farm with the company Juice Plus, and we're a certified seedling provider. And we just recently moved to that space that you have there in the middle. That'll be a full 20 tower garden installation there at a local shopping center that is a historical rendition of a local ranch that basically founded our town. So we are very busy talking to the whole public. They come in big groups, it seems like, and want to know all about the tower garden. So it's been quite a journey, and we are just continuing on that journey and seeing where it leads us. But we certainly have had a really good time from that one little tower garden in the condo and now to our commercial farm. So that's where we are on our journey with the tower garden.
That's so awesome. That is so exciting. I love it. I absolutely love it. So, you can see that the tower gardens, I think we mentioned in the video too, but they uses less water. It takes up less space. It's literally, you need 3 feet of space for one tower garden, and then you can grow up. So you can grow 20 different plants in your tower, and there's extensions where you can add on, and it grows 30% faster. And it really does. And once you have a tower and you experience that, you are kind of, blown away by it. Gina, do you have anything else to add on to this?
Well, I just love that, there it says expected, $1,200 to $1,400 worth of produce every year. We just recently put our towers in where they have a farmer's market, and you see all these people come by with their bags of stuff from the farmer's market. And I just think, wow, that has to be like probably a lot of money worth of stuff that they're getting at the farmer's market, and they could just be growing it in their backyard, and it saving all that water, using such a small amount of space, and having that fresh live produce that's not gonna be wilty and not very appealing in the refrigerator within 24 hours. So I love that you have that on there.
Right.
That side. It's amazing.
And talk about fresh, literally picking
Right.
fresh produce.
Right. Yesterday I was just talking to somebody about, there's nothing that compares to eating live produce. Literally, it's still living when it goes from the tower garden to your table. It's still live, which is huge. When you're eating produce that's been sitting there for 3 or 4 weeks from the grocery store, it's no longer, it's not living like it was right off the tower garden. And you really can feel the difference, when you're juicing with it, or with your putting it in with your smoothie, with the complete, you really can taste and feel the difference eating from the tower garden, that live produce.
Absolutely. And you too, there's no chemicals on it. There's no pesticides. There's very little, bugs and pests, because it's grown in water. There's no soil.
Right.
Which is really, really cool. And
Right.
here's some of the different packages. Do you want to talk about the packages a little bit?
Sure. So exciting, the different packages that we have access to. Of course, we have our single tower garden that you were talking about that has 20 spots in it. We have, of course, that can be extended with our extension to grow 28 spots, and it can come with a light kit, so you can grow that indoors, like you do. And most people on the call, I probably think, are probably growing indoors. And then we have our awesome family garden, which I think is such an amazing deal. It's 3 of the taller towers. And that is, like I said, I think one of the best deals. It comes with the 3 towers. It comes with a gallon of nutrients. It comes with the tomato cage. It just comes with a lot of different accessories that I think are such a great value with the package. And just recently, I don't know if it's pictured there, but it was pictured in the very beginning. That first Healthy Living slide had a picture of our brand new community garden that is now available for us to sell, which would be ideal in a school or a nursing home or a church or a nonprofit, or any place where they would, even somebody that wants to dip their toes into the commercial urban farming side of life. That 12 tower garden farm is amazing. So we're really excited about that new package that we have available.
Right. Yeah. So there's many different sort of avenues you can walk down or start through, whether it's just with the Singer tower, the family of 3, or the community garden, and either direction that's right for you. You get everything that you need basically to get started and to get growing. As you can see, you've got your rock wool, the nutrients, they have everything. And there really, as you were just saying, there's a big vision for what you can do with the tower gardens and where you can place them. As you started to mention, you can put them in schools, libraries. We just put one in our local library.
Yay, that's so exciting. I see that.
Girls clubs, yeah, restaurants, community centers,
nursing
homes.
Yeah, I was just talking to somebody. They were talking to a nursing home, and they were going to be assigning, it was really cool, tower garden to certain residents. So they were in charge of a tower garden. And we just, as a farm, we talk to other farmers. They are, they're even in, we have convention centers that have tower farms in them. And we just sold one to a prison. Can you believe that? Isn't that so cool? And they're going to be taking the produce and then they give it back to the community, all of the produce that they're growing there at the prison. So that's a new and exciting venture that, place like who would have thought, in a prison. So just about anywhere, boys and girls clubs,
rehabilitation,
anywhere. It's amazing. It's just like the sky's the limit with the Tower Garden, really.
It really is. So I'm sure you're on the line now, maybe already thinking about, if you weren't already just thinking about having one for your home, maybe you're thinking of other people that are in some of these areas that work at nursing homes, that own a restaurant, that work at a restaurant, or things like that. So really, certainly everybody knows somebody in a school too.
Right, or maybe run a soup kitchen, like right here with the Green Bronx. This is a great example of a nonprofit that's doing great for the community there. A video or something that you're playing?
We have another quick video, so I'm gonna click on it, and give me a second if I switch the screen share for a sec. So I'm gonna pause it and do a new share now that I know that you couldn't see it before. Switch. All right, give me a thumbs up that you can see it. Okay.
Oh, now
now it stopped. Hold on.
My name is Stephen Ritz, and I am CEO, Chief Eternal Optimist of Bronx County. We're going to grow our own lunch. We're going to grow our own food today. We're going to go from seed to plate.
A tower garden is like this plant, but you don't need soil. And then the water comes up, and then it comes down and rain on the roots.
Adults think you can't farm in the South Bronx. Tell it to these kids. They're farming. For so many, food is the problem. Yet for all of us, food is a solution. It's grade to juvenile diabetes and juvenile obesity in the nation. And we can change that. We absolutely have the power to change schools in this generation. I think I still see the seed. That happened. I mean, I can pass it around and they can see seed. My job is to teach kids how we can grow food. And I'm asking everyone to roll up their sleeves and get a little dirty and grow something great.
She lets us plant stuff like salad, cucumbers, tomatoes.
My 4th and 5th graders came into a classroom with no window to build a tower garden and literally turned it into a farm. And we talked about how healthy food builds healthy minds and healthy bodies. And where are we doing it? Right here in school. So did everybody plant the seed? Yeah! The excitement and the joy that these little kids feel putting the seed in the ground and watching it blossom. OMG, as they say, this is their moment.
I think he cares about us a lot, and he wants us to learn and have fun at the same time.
I'm not a farmer, but I'm planting seeds.
He always says seeds are like people because they need love and they grow and grow and grow to be successful people.
To use 21st century technology to generate food and to create this beautiful thing to sit by that you can actually eat is game changing. It's empowering. They're growing. The plants are growing, and they're responsible for it. When they know they can grow their own, they really start changing the way they see their relationship to the world and the place. We're going this way. Are you eat it? You good? I love it. Thank you. Okay. Okay, we're going to go back and then we'll get something.
How cool is that? That is just, that warms my heart right there.
Yeah, he's a visionary.
It really is. And let's go back to, can you see the screen now?
Yeah, I can see this.
Okay, we're back.
I want to cry every time I see him talk. He's amazing.
Yes, he really is amazing. And what he's done in that school and for his community is so inspiring. And if we can even just take a little bit of that and put it into the schools in our community, we
are so blessed. He's going to be at conference. It's going to be amazing to see him. Every time we see him at conference, it's just
fired up.
Really, just to rub elbows, just to be near him. I swear, I can't even talk to him. I just get starstruck.
I don't.
My son doesn't. He absolutely loves Stephen Ritz. He's, he
He's
loves.
pretty cool. He is pretty cool. Now, Gina, you already talked a little bit about the community gardens and commercial farming, but anything else you want to add?
Well, we have, some information is going to roll out at conference that'll just clarify, confirm, and just clear up what the difference is between a community garden and a commercial tower farms, how that all works. We, as reps, we can sell the community gardens, and for most applications, like restaurants or churches or places like that, really a community garden will fit the bill. I think where that line is are you going to be able to help take care of it, and if not, then maybe it should be turned over to a commercial farm to help them through that process. And then the company has made it really advantageous for the rep that maybe turn that over to a commercial farmer, and they're going to be giving they're giving a 10% referral fee, basically, that slides up for a couple percent upline. So I don't want to muddle that up. I just want everybody to know and to keep their eyes open for places that might utilize tower gardens and not be afraid to go there and start that process, and then reach out to your upline if you feel like you've waded in too far, and know that I'm here, Melissa's here, we're all here to help through that process of where that goes, whether community garden or commercial farm.
Right.
So,
and again, a community garden is 12
tower gardens, 7 high, and a commercial tower farm might be 10 tower gardens, but tall, like even taller, 9, 11, 13 pots. So, they're, super tall, depending on if they're growing outside or maybe in a, large greenhouse or something.
Mm-hmm.
But, we see the commercial farms popping up here and there now all over the place. We've got them in Arizona and state-of-the-art solar greenhouses. We've got them in the, Orange County Convention Center in Florida. We've got them at the O'Hare Airport.
Mm-hmm.
Even mine is considered, a small commercial farm, with 20 tall tower gardens. It's nothing, as large as something like a true garden, but, it is exciting to see that movement head towards, the future of food, whether it's in your own backyard or in a greenhouse, producing on a large mass scale for the public.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Guys, I just want to stress how important it is for our team to realize that we have, Gina, I just want to thank you first and foremost for your time, but you guys, we have a treasure on this call. I mean, we are so fortunate and so lucky to have this skill set amongst our team members. And, the fact that we can come in-house essentially to get the resources that we need to proliferate these opportunities, it would be so, it just would make so much sense for us to keep her busy with our work, going out and finding opportunities and handing to her and go find more and handing it over and just keep doing that so that we can keep her busy and keep, her business building. And do the same for yourself, right? I mean, so really we need to just be looking. And if you have not purchased a tower yet, I just really want to encourage you that this is the time to do it, because it's never going to get better, especially on the East Coast. Right now is the time. But particularly, you need to have that hands-on experience to know and relate to people about what it can do for you. And don't be scared, because they really are so awesome. Sorry for jumping in.
No, and I think it's so interesting that you mentioned that, because on a call, that is really something that corporate is even going to, stress, is that, the tower garden is an amazing tool. And in order to sell it, it really is, ideal to purchase one and grow one on your own backyard or your own kitchen, like Danielle and the boys are doing now, and Chris-Anne's growing indoors, and, just having that experience and sharing that experience, sharing the lettuce with your neighbor, sharing the pictures on the Facebook, but really just taking that leap of faith and, growing with the garden, and it's a big deal. I mean, they're really trying to impress upon everybody that, it is really super important to know your product, right?
Absolutely. And that's actually Chris Ann's Tower Garden right there in the middle, and it's beautiful.
Woo-hoo!
It's beautiful.
Love it.
And I've taken heads of lettuce off before, and I've gifted them to my neighbors. It's like a thank you, and it's beautiful. It's nice. It's nicer than flowers because they can actually eat it and enjoy it.
Right.
But the towers also bring people together.
Right. I heard somebody say, what do you get somebody that has everything? And that is food, right? You can always bring them a gift of food. And why not, I had a lettuce instead of, some, fancy marshmallows from the local, artisans, whatever store, you could bring them something that you've grown, and it's just even more special because they don't have that. That's for sure.
Absolutely. So I don't know if anybody has any questions, but we certainly can take a couple moments to answer any questions, and I can. Hold on.
May I ask a question? It's Buffy.
Yes, absolutely.
Beautiful, beautiful people. You all are so amazing. Gina, well done. Daniel, love it. Quick question. You probably already addressed it, but I didn't get to hear. In regards to grow lights, do they have to order the cage for the tomatoes?
Yes.
Grow lights?
Yes, they have to do that. You know what? It's such a great question because I have gotten calls multiple times from other reps, and they really just didn't know that you needed the cage that, with the lights, because they actually attach to the cage. So that is such a great question.
Yes.
Thanks.
Yep. Good question. Anyone else have any other questions? I know Gina did such a great job.
No, it was such a basic thing. I think that, honestly, we just have to keep in mind that, Tower Garden is such a simple and fun tool. A plant only needs 3 things. They need light, they need water, and they need nutrients. And our Tower Garden gives them all 3. And, I know some people might be a little bit scared of, selling the Tower Garden or not knowing, what to say, or there's just so many questions, but really it is just that simple. They just need 3 things, and our Tower Garden gives it to them. And, and it's just that simple.
Michelle, do you have a question?
Yeah, I have a question. So we just had an event last week, and I heard someone saying, like, walking by the Tower Garden and saying, oh yeah, that's really cost efficient. The lights are on all day. The water's running all day. It's plugged in. Like, how would you answer that? Because, I mean, I know, that you just said to us about the $1,200 to $400 worth of produce, but like, how do you explain?
Well, the pump, first of all, we recycle the water. So we're using the water. It is running a timer, and it's not running all day. Indoors, it's actually only running 15 minutes on, 45 minutes off, so it's really not running that long. And it only takes, they've done like a cost analysis, roughly $7 a year to run the Tower Garden.
Wow.
So
in terms of your electric bill.
That in terms of your electric bill is $7 a year to run that little tiny pump in the Tower Garden. And certainly it could be run by solar. True Garden is a state-of-the-art solar, greenhouse that runs 500 Tower Gardens. So, you can take this thing and make it as sustainable and off-grid as you want to. We have it pretty sustainable down to, like I said, very minimal costs per year electricity wise, and you can take it even further if you wanted. But I mean, it sounds to me like maybe they made a snarky comment and then kind of walked off, or did they stay and ask you any questions? Or
No, well, the wife actually ended up staying and was really interested, but of course. No, but I'm sure just to prepare myself for hearing
right
other kinds of questions.
I haven't gotten a lot of that. I have gotten the questions, how much does it cost to run? And then they're very surprised when I say about $7, a year to run. And, and a lot of people I sold. So they usually do ask those questions rather than make those remarks. So I'm really sorry you had to have that happen to you.
Michelle, I'm not trying to contradict anybody, but when we went to that thing in the overnight thing in Massachusetts, I wrote down $17 a month for the lights. Maybe that's us in New York, but that's what
It might be because you guys are
for just
running
the lights, nothing to do with the water, which I'm assuming is cheaper for that electricity.
Right. The lights are 54 watts. They should be 54 watts per tube. You got 4 tubes running and you're running them about 14 to 18 hours a day. So that could be $17 a month, could certainly be a cost. I've not run it because I don't run the light here. I run a lot.
It was just, it was just a fact that I had written down from that talk that we went to. And I just think it's good to know because we're not going to use it year round.
Right.
No.
You're using it for a couple of months.
Yeah.
Indoors.
Months, 3 or 4 months. You guys are using it.
Like $25 a month for your total, I would say.
If that.
Yeah.
Or 20 to 20.
Which obviously you're making that back because
of what you're growing.
Right,
You're
exactly.
saving on your grocery, and what you're saving on your grocery bill.
Right.
Really,
Consuming a head of lettuce out in New York in the wintertime is quite costly.
yeah, especially when you're buying organic.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. It is.
I have a question.
Yes.
What is in the Tower Tonic nutrition?
They are ionic minerals is how I explain them. They are minerals that are extracted from the earth about 20,000 years down. They go 20,000 years down and they extract the exact minerals, ionic minerals that they need for the plant nutrition. And then they add extra calcium. So that is what I explain. I've said, I say it like multiple times a day now in that one space when I'm asked that. They are inorganic. They are not organic. They're not an organic material. They are, like I said, an ionic mineral.
Okay, let's explain that though. Organic, the definition of organic is tied to the root and soil. So the definition is tied to soil, so there's no soil.
Right. But with the minerals, that would be actually tied to a living organism. So it would be a waste from a living organism that they would be utilizing, like guano poop and fish emulsion. And so that would be what an organic nutrient would contain. So we just use the inorganic mineral instead of an organic based nutrient.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So no poop.
No poop.
No poop.
No poop and no soil. It's better. Yeah.
Much cleaner that way.
Hey, Gina, how much money do you make if you sell a family garden versus a community garden?
Well, the community, I guess that depends on what level you're at, right?
Let's just say sales coordinator, 22%.
Sales coordinator, God, what do we figure that was about, was it $1,600 for a community garden, right? And is it about 300 for the family garden, like 150 for one, right? It's about 300 for I'm not sure on the one, but I know that the other one was like $1,600 for the community garden.
That's great. So we can think of a lot of people that would need community gardens.
Community gardens, $1,600 is a lot of money to make off of, a nice paycheck, $1,600, right? Mm-hmm. But, community garden, you got to just, keep in mind that now becomes you have to be able to take the responsibility of making sure that is a successful install and a successful experience for that tower garden, community garden owner.
Mm-hmm. And now someone can also purchase the community garden and break them up into other.
Absolutely. They could buy a community garden, place it into different classrooms. Mm-hmm. That's awesome. I've seen that happen for sure. It breaks all down into intent. You could buy, they're even looking at, you could buy 20 tower gardens possibly that may not even be considered a commercial sale. You know, they're going on case-to-case basis because, you know, let's say they decided they wanted 2 tower gardens for 10 classrooms. So then it's not a commercial setup. It's, you know, the intent, they're really, really looking at the intent because we are so special and so unique in how we are applying these tower gardens. So, you know, corporate has been amazing taking a look at things that come across their desk that, you know, need to be like that.
That's great. Does anyone else have any other questions? I know it's past.
What is the warranty on it?
Right now we have a year-long warranty. There's some talk of the warranty going up.
And that's
Up
for
the tower.
And that's straight from Jay's mouth. He's talking about increasing it to, I think, 3 or 5 years, right? Yeah, 5 years.
5 years. It'll be this conference is going to be amazing. There's going to be some really cool stuff being brought down the pipeline.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
And what do you typically tell people when they ask how long, you know, how many years do you get out of a tower garden?
I tell them it has a 30-year life expectancy. That's what I was told. You know, so, you know, that's what I tell them. They have the year, you know, the year-long warranty, but that it has a 30-year life expectancy.
30 years is a pretty long time to be able to grow your own food.
Your moms, they've got those blenders that have lasted longer than that. It's made out of the same stuff. You know? Yeah, that's the tower garden back there. Okay, Grandma, you know.
Pretty cool.
I would be 6 years old with my tower garden.
That's awesome. Does anyone else have any questions, or we can say goodnight?
Can't wait to see everybody at conference.
I know. Me too.
Gonna be awesome.
It is. Gina, thank you so much for joining me on this call to share with everybody tonight. It was such an honor. I love hearing from you and your expertise in the tower gardens.
You're so awesome. I love doing these types of things with you. So
thank
anytime.
you. And for anyone that has their tower garden or is thinking of getting a tower garden or what have you, and you're in need for some seedlings, Gina is your go-to for the most awesome, unique, cool seedlings, things that you've probably never eaten before.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That's what our garden's about, right?
Exactly. Trying some new things. So definitely get in touch with Gina. But thank you all. I'm going to say goodnight. I'm going to stop the recording.